Acolyte reaches its halfway point, Disney's media shills and the cast have been crying, screaming, and even dancing at the fans in an attempt to justify the show's abysmal failure. Hello, I'm Marvin, and I'm the Movie Monster. Fan blaming isn't anything new in the Hollywood universe, and it's certainly not some kind of new development for Disney Star Wars. The egomaniacs who write, direct, and star in these horrible agenda-driven nonsense shows that place identity politics over silly things like, attempting to tell a logical story and entertain fans are narcissists at the end of the day. And when a narcissist is confronted with their own failure, they'll find ways to blame anyone but themselves for taking that L. Fan blaming, everyone's favorite pastime in Hollywood. The Acolyte has seen fan blaming taken to whole new levels. Leslie Headland and her team of talentless hacks have produced what is undoubtedly the single worst piece of content that fails on every conceivable level. It is a terrible script. It is terribly acted. It is terribly shot. It is terribly scored. It is terribly costumed. It is terrible. The sets are terrible. The entire concept is terrible. There is not one redeeming factor about this show. So, of course, egomaniacs like Leslie Headland, Kathleen Kennedy, and Amanda Stenberg, who we are going to affectionately refer to on this channel as Amanda Sameface, because she is always making the same face, can't possibly believe that the problem is them. So they have to go blame everybody else. And they are doing that through both personally themselves and through their media shills, like Forbes reporter Paul Tassi, who seethes as Star Wars The Acolyte audience score goes even lower, according to an article by our friends over at That Park Place written by John Trent, who is just the master over there at That Park Place. He's doing such amazing work. So Forbes writer Paul Tassi, not happy with the audience and viewer scores, rejecting The Acolyte. Now, the scores he's talking about, folks, the audience score over here on Rotten Tomatoes, 14% for The Acolyte. Oh, in 10,000 ratings. That's insane. Now, if you look at the tomato meter for the Shill critics, that's down to 85%. That was in the 90s, but then if you look over here, all the top critics, the ones that Rotten Tomatoes is like, oh, these are our people, like these are our guys, they have given it a 72%. That's pretty low. I mean, that's 12% away from being rotten on this page. So that should tell you something. Then all critics have it up to 85%. It's 150 reviews versus 29 reviews. 14% over here. The average viewer rating is 1.2 out of 5. That is atrocious. The Star Wars holiday special, the most reviled piece of Star Wars media up to this point, has a 21% audience score. It's insane to me. Anyway, Paul says The Acolyte's 15%, oh, those were the days, weren't they? Audience score is embarrassing, but it's embarrassing for the audience. While Star Wars has had many controversies in the Disney era, viewers have now mobilized a fleet of TIE bombers to obliterate user scores of The Acolyte wherever possible, namely on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb. Yes, that's it, Paul. It can't possibly be that people don't like this show. It has to be a review bombing effort concentrated and centered in sexism, racism, and homophobia. Screw you, Paul. You are exactly what is wrong with the Shill media. I previously reported that this started right up at release, and The Acolyte quickly became the lowest audience-rated Star Wars project besides the infamous holiday special. Now its former 33% score has dipped below the special's 20% score. It's actually a 21% score, and is all the way down to 15%. At a certain point, this is just absurd, and it says a lot more about the viewers than it does about the quality of the show itself, which has barely even gotten started. Now, just 3 episodes in, so we're 4 episodes in now. This show's halfway over, thank God. And or you could look at it as, oh God, we still have half to go. And the score has only dipped down to 14%. No, I'm not going to entertain a debate that this is not review bombing. A 15% score is barely more than a third of the last most controversial Star Wars project, The Last Jedi. Nothing is even close to that holiday special. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. The Star Wars holiday special, while terrible, is terrible in a fun way. It's so terrible that it's good. You can sit and watch it and riff track it. You can sit there in Mystery Science Theater 3000, that special, with your friends, and you sit on the couch and you have some snacks and you have some drinks and you laugh at Chewbacca's son Lumpy and all the crazy stuff with B. Arthur and Carrie Fisher singing at the end. It was also something that aired one time. And then George Lucas has said if he could hunt down every single person that has a bootleg copy of that and smash it with a baseball bat, the copy, not the person, that he would do it in a heartbeat. It wasn't something that insulted the fans. It wasn't something that attacked the fans. It wasn't something that sat there and fundamentally changed what Star Wars was. It didn't all of a sudden make Anakin Skywalker or Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker less important than they had ever been before because, we had to inject agenda into it. There was no secondary agenda to this other than it was a cash grab. It was a TV cash grab. And it aired, like I said, one time. Could you imagine if, like, back then when the Star Wars holiday special aired, people were like, oh, all these people, they're just racist against Wookiees or whatever the heck. They just don't like B. Arthur because I don't know. So no, people just accepted the fact that it was bad, that it was just a bad show, and today we laugh at it. It's a favorite at conventions to buy at bootleg, video cots or whatever or booths, and you sit there and you laugh at it. That's what it is. Inverse, the Acolyte isn't ruining Star Wars. You are. Give me a break. Give me a break. Yes, the fans are the problem. Think entertainment would be so great if it wasn't for the paying audience. Good Lord. This kind of drivel from you, Inverse. This is exactly the problem with Hollywood right now because you guys don't focus on who your audience is. You don't like your audience. You actively hate your audience. You court a new audience that either doesn't exist or doesn't exist in the volume that will give you enough profitability to keep your stupid crap afloat. No one hates Star Wars more than those who claim to be Star Wars fans. No, we love Star Wars. We grew up on Star Wars. We adore Star Wars. When The Mandalorian came out, season 1, we loved it. When The Force Awakens came out, we all loved it. We retroactively hate it because we saw where it went. Mandalorian season 2, Luke Skywalker showed up. Everyone loved it. So stop. Rebels. Rebels is a great example. People love Rebels. People love Jedi Fallen Order. People love Jedi Survivor, the video games. Stop claiming that Star Wars fans hate Star Wars. No, we hate things that try to be Star Wars that aren't Star Wars. And this show is not Star Wars. The sequel splintered the fan base beyond recognition, and Lucasfilm's effort to expand the galaxy on the small screen have been mixed at best. And in some cases, criticism is inevitable. Not everyone will find something to like in the franchise's recent output. At a certain point, though, the discourse reaches a fever pitch, and even Lucasfilm's most promising projects get swept up in the drama. And they think that this is the franchise's most promising project, but the fans are just too blinded by the hate to see it. Can you see how sick this thought process is? Whether you know them as the fandom menace or a cluster of blue checkmark users on Twitter, it's impossible to escape their orbit. They're talking about people like me, people like me, people like WW Pro, people like Yellow Flash, Master of the TDS, Nerdrotic, Critical Drinker, The Quartering, people that don't like things and mention the things that we don't like instead of just mindlessly consuming it the way they want you to. Paul Tassi came back to Forbes this week to talk about how the episode 4 controversy is too absurd to be believed. This guy, I mean, good Lord, there's Kiadi Mundi, which God, I can't believe what they've done to him. So he rails against the Kiadi Mundi controversy, the fact that they injected Kiadi Mundi into this 40 years before he's supposed to be born in canon, a canon that was signed off on by George Lucas. It's not just legends there, folks. In unofficial merchandise, Kiadi Mundi's age was mentioned. But that's not the problem here. The problem is that Kiadi Mundi, the guy who said, impossible, the Sith have been extinct for a millennia, is now the guy who is now seeing this firsthand. So his presence there legitimizes everything that Leslie Headland's trying to do. That's why this is being done. That's why it's Kiadi Mundi and not somebody like Yoda or a new character. Paul Tassi is apparently just like drinking that Leslie Headland Kool-Aid. Don't harass him or anything like that. He does enough damage to himself by writing this garbage. Then you see people like Grace Randolph, the queen of the shills, coming to the aid of this show. Let's see, our friends over at That Puck was covering this. Don't read the Acolyte. I understand why some of you are frustrated with Star Wars right now, and I'm by no means trying to tell you your feelings are wrong. I do feel the loudest voices against the Acolyte are taking on hate speech qualities, and that does not help your cause. As for me, I genuinely like the show. I'm excited for you to see episode 4 on Tuesday. The best of the 4 episodes I saw in advance. What are you smoking, lady? Nothing happened in episode 4. We're going to have a full review on that coming soon, folks. Don't worry about that. But Grace Randolph is an idiot. The Acolyte videos are meant to be a space for people who do like the show and those who might not like it but are open to discussing it. Does Lucasfilm poke the bear? Absolutely. Should there be a broader range of Star Wars content? Absolutely, but I feel The Acolyte is a genuinely good show with awful timing. And it's sitting down at the table where odds were stacked against it, which is unfortunate. She is, folks, I mean, as annoying as my impersonation of her is, her actual voice is a lot more annoying. Then we've got our good friend Amanda Sameface, who is known for making the same face while playing two different characters. She is one of the worst actresses I've ever seen. She has not one redeeming quality as a presence on the screen. She has dragged this show down in every single scene she's in, from the creepy scenes in which she grooms Padawan Chitara, who apparently the character is 18, but man, she looks like she's 12, and it's weird to watch this grown woman flirt with her. Amanda Sameface is 25 years old. So that Pock Place says actress Amanda Stenberg, who plays Osha and May, also known on this channel as May, Kate, and Oshley, in Star Wars The Acolyte, claimed to be the victim of racism and released a cringe song on Juneteenth in an attempt to maximize the virtue signal. That is true. That is what she did. Stenberg posted the nearly 4-minute song to her Instagram account, writing, "Happy Juneteenth, and to those who are flooding me with intolerable racism, since it took me 72 hours on my laptop to make this song and video, you got 72 hours to respond, and I expect choreo." The choreo that she's talking about, folks, is maybe the single most laughable thing in this entire thing. Now, I'm not going to play you the audio of this song here because one, it's terrible and I don't hate you, and two, she has been copyright striking videos that play the audio of this nonstop. So yeah, she basically set a trap, and I'm not walking into it. So, here's kind of what she's doing. It's just, she's doing this. Look at this dance. That's what she calls choreography. She's twerking. It looks like bees are attacking her. Good Lord. What the heck? Well, discourse flashes on the screen. And there's just weird, like, look, oh my God, look at her dancing here is terrible too. Like, it's just nonstop terrible dancing. Like, oh, good Lord. Look at that. What do you even call that move? What do you call that dance move? And then it's just weird close-ups of her face while she just dances weird. And her lyrics are terrible. The music is terrible. Her voice is terrible. The dancing is terrible. I mean, can this woman do anything right? Can she do anything well? Does she have a shred of talent in anything? Can she, like, I don't know. Is she really good at building houses of cards? Is she like great at arts and crafts? Show me something she's good at, please, because I have not seen a single thing that she does well. The Acolyte has taken Star Wars from a dying brand to a dead brand. It's the timeless child of Star Wars, and fans of this franchise built on the idea of hope have now abandoned hope entirely. But, of course, that is in no way, shape, or form the fault of people like Kathleen Kennedy, Leslie Headland, or Amanda Sameface. You see, they're visionaries and artists, and you're all just hateful, spiteful bigots who want to tear them down for being stunning and brave females. And as for Amanda Sameface's challenge to critics to respond to her little song and dance sometime within 72 hours with choreo, challenge accepted, lady. Expect our response song parody sometime in the next few days, Monday at the latest, since I've been traveling. Thanks to everyone supporting this channel. I am humbled by the response and growth we've seen in the last week. This channel's only been active for about 3 weeks, and we've already seen more growth than I thought possible. So again, thank you. If you like what I'm doing here, please tell a friend, like, share, and subscribe. Click the bell icon to get notified of new videos as they drop. It really helps our new channel out. Oh, and if you're a wrestling fan, subscribe to our sister channel, Tooneytown Wrestling. Once we get 5,000 subscribers over there, I'll be celebrating by punishing myself by streaming the game AEW Fight Forever. For all of us here at Tooneytown TV, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!